In a recent video, I introduced you to a new girl in the heli shed, the sister to Trixie, the Soxos 6.1. Here she is. Yes, legends, of course it had to be the Soxos Strike 7.1. Yes, that's right, legends. We've now got the full fat version of the Soxos Strike, the 7.1. We've now named Angel, and I've had about 10 flights on her, fine-tuning with Uncle Bob and getting her right for a public maiden flight. Unfortunately, this happened. No, I haven't got it on film. Yes, I'm super pissed off about it. Stupid, 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 stupid. You had it all under control. There was absolutely no need for it. You brought it into a loop. It was too close. By the time you came out, it was 10 feet away and she was staring at you, all angry. No, no, no. It's brand new. Are you mad? Are you fucking mad? Brand new. Brand new. Brand fucking new. Brand fucking new. Brand fucking new. Brand fucking new. Brand new. Brand new. Brand new. Brand new. Brand fucking new. Brand new. Brand new. Brand new. Brand new. How many times have you done a loop like that? How many times have you done flips, etc.? And that's not the helicopter to practice on, is it? That's why you've got Trixie. That's why you've got the 6.1. You practice on that. You don't practice on a brand new fucking helicopter. Everything was going so well. If you hadn't have brought it out as you did then, you're having such a wonderful time. Oh no, you know. Fuck. Maybe if we just put that in there, beautiful. Maybe if we just put that in there. Yeah? How's that? That's it, hold it. It's only temporary, sweetie, you'll be back. It's only temporary, sweet. Yeah, just a bit of glue, that's all we need. There is a little bit of glue in there, a little bit of glue, and you'll be fine. Yeah. Maybe if I could get some tape. Maybe if we can just get some tape, a little bit of tape, a little bit of tape. Yeah. Welcome, you legends and heliheads, you choppers and stick bangers, you twizzle whizzlers, beautiful subscribers, and everyone passing by on HeliShed. Thank you for joining me on this video, and thank you for being part of my life. I'm now going to go and end it. Okay, stop. Obviously not. You can't even say that sort of thing nowadays without someone on the extreme left getting all upset and affecting their mental health because you've mentioned something remotely, even with a degree of satire about ending your own life or hitting yourself with a hammer or whatever. So for those who are offended, I'm really sorry, but do me a favour, fuck off now, find a rock, get under it, and never come out ever again. For the rest of you, especially if you're in this hobby, you know exactly how I feel right now. There's nothing worse than crashing a helicopter in this hobby. There is nothing worse, as simple as that. You know, you might be a competitor and compete and come 14th out of 14, but you still don't feel anywhere remotely as bad as putting your beautiful machine into the ground, as I've just recently done with Angel, the Soxos 7.1. It is soul destroying, not just because of the amount of money it costs to repair it, but purely because that is a machine that you've built from literally nuts and bolts. You've put it together and it has brought you such joy. No one else outside of this hobby will understand what I'm talking about there. And if you're in this hobby, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But how something so relatively inanimate, it's not a sentient being, but how much joy that brings you when you have a crash, it is, as I said, soul destroying. But as sure as eggs are eggs, or your dick falling off because you've had a one night stand with a girl named Wang Ting in Thailand, in this hobby you are going to crash, and you almost have to accept it. Now granted, the more experience you have, the longer that time frame is between each crash. I know one particular fella, Albatross for example, you can see his flight, his most recent flight up there, but Albatross hasn't had a crash in 25 years. And there are some of you out there who have not had crashes in decades, and you know what? That's where we all want to get. For most of us, crashing is part and parcel of the hobby, and in my view it falls into two categories. The first category is this. Ding! The thumbs, or the pinch, or the hybrid, whichever way you are. If you crash your helicopter because of the way in which you've flown it, then you know what? Suck it up, princess. Get over it. It was your fault. At least you know why it happened. Take it all home, have a cry, hit yourself on the head with a rubber mallet and repair it. And the bigger the helicopter is, the more expensive it's going to be. The second is the reason that we all in this hobby hate, and that is the what the fuck just happened there. And this is when you genuinely have no idea why that helicopter crashed, and you go out of your way during the post-mortem to find out what happened. Sometimes it might have been a ball link come loose. Sometimes it may have been that you didn't Loctite something in. Sometimes it could have been through no other reason other than an electronic fault. But it's a fault that's not down to you. It fell out the sky because of some form of electronic or mechanical failure. And you must find out why that happens so that you can ensure that one, it doesn't happen again, and two, you can eliminate the thumbs. But crashing a helicopter and not knowing why that's happened is even more soul destroying, and it is so important that you find out why. The bigger the helicopter is, the more danger there is to us. And when these are zipping around at 2000 RPM, big 700 or even 800 size carbon fibre machetes, which is what they are, they will cut your head off of your body like a knife through butter. No question. It will cause serious injury if it hits you anywhere else. This is not a game, so to speak. What happened on this occasion? I can't show you a video. As I said, at the end of the day, YouTube is an output of my hobby. So, whether it's myself or Uncle Bob or the both of us, most of my helicopters, particularly those ones recently that I've bought that have been brand new, we fine tune them and get them ready for a sort of public maiden. So when you see me flying it for the first time on HeliShed, clearly I've had a few flights on her beforehand to fine tune her, etc. And that's just so that, the flight is relatively semi-good, so to speak. And then it's not just a shower of rubbish. And on really special machines, such as Rosie here, I'll quite happily put a video up there, as I have done recently, and you can see that up there, of when we are fine-tuning her, because she is so unique. But I really didn't want to do that with Angel. I really wanted to fine-tune her and get her right. And it took 10 flights purely because I had some issues with the fly barless system that Uncle Bob and Albatross helped me through. But the key thing was, I was on the last sort of unfilmed flight. I don't film everything. As I said, this YouTube is an output of my hobby, and flying is more important to me than making films about it. But on this occasion I was flying around very slowly. Uncle Bob was with me. I was flying around very slowly, quite close in, and I was practicing particular 3D moves at slow speed. One of those was a loop. I went into the loop, at the top of the loop, came out of the loop, nice and gentle, etc. But as I came out of the loop, realised that helicopter was way too close. And without exaggeration, I'd say probably about 15 metres, if that, 10 metres. It was too close, and going at 2000 RPM on a head speed. And I could have, and I know I could have just hook turned her and got her away from us. But at the end of the day, as it came out of that loop and it gained speed, it was then looking at us. And it was a call I had to make. with Uncle Bob standing next to me. Now, Uncle Bob has been around for a while, let's say, and the last thing I wanted to do was 1, frighten him, or 2, injure him along with me. So I put it into the ground. Now, some of you out there will be saying, Tiger, what have you done? But you know what? You've got to have the courage of your convictions. And my conviction was I am not putting myself and anyone else that was around me on that flight line at risk. The helicopter was too close, it was going too fast, and it was too dangerous. And so I throttle hold and shoved it into the ground, throttle hold. Yeah, a huge lesson learnt there, obviously. And that is that I won't be doing loops that close to myself. I just simply have not got the experience, and more importantly, there's just no need for it. It's as simple as that. I wasn't trying to outdo myself. I wasn't trying to impress anybody or anything like that. It was just part of a flight routine, if you like, or not even a routine. It was part of the flight, and there was nothing particularly special about it. It was a very slow loop. It's just that when it came out, it was too close and going too fast. And in hindsight, could I have hook-turned that out and, got it away? Probably. Would I have scared the living daylights of Bob and ruined his confidence in my flying? Very likely, and likewise with myself. So I done what I knew I could do and be in control of, and that was put it into the ground. Okay, so before we look at Angel and the damage to her and how much it's going to cost me to put her back in the air, let me please just summarise. If you have a crash in this hobby, and it's likely you will do, and you need to accept that you will do, then you need to understand a couple of things. 1, why it happened, and 2, how to put that right the next time around. I know that I crashed Angel through my thumbs, and putting it right next time round, I simply won't go into a loop that close to myself, or certainly not on the same lateral line as myself. And if it's not as a result of thumbs, then you must find out why that helicopter crashed before you fly again. And that is so important. I can't stress how important that is. Is it important for a little Blade 130X? No. Is it important for a 700 size machine? You bet your bloody arse it is. So do not fly that helicopter until you know why it went into the ground. Right, let's take a look at the damage. Okay, legends, here we are then on the bench. And obviously we can see Angel's face, the canopy. Well, there's no repairing that, is there? And unfortunately the blades, as we can see, the blade here is cracked. In general terms, you shouldn't really reuse blades if they've been in an accident anyway, but that blade certainly had it, and this blade, as we can see here, has had it as well. So that's a pair of blades gone. A bit more of a canopy here and a bit more of the canopy there. The main belt is broken. The tail, as you can see, is completely bent under here. I think it's done what it's needed to do. This is just very thin aluminium tube, but on the back of the actual frame carriage here is cast aluminium and is much stronger. So it's done what it's designed to do. In this case, it buckled there. We can see here the support struts are broken. Be very careful, guys, when you going through the post-mortem of your machine. Carbon fibre fibres are super sharp, and if they get in your skin, they're going to cause you some serious problems. So this is not a good example. I should be wearing gloves, really. Thankfully, the stabiliser is not damaged. None of the brackets are damaged, and the tail fin is fine. The rear blades, we can see they've gone, and you can see straight away, and I can feel it, the main tail rotor assembly is bent. No damage at the back here. The torque tube for the pitch slider is fine. The servo is fine, and the pitch slider is fine, but we can see there that it's missing a ball link. The whole boom assembly, the boom, actually I got off light, it's the boom and the support struts, and at the back here the actual tail assembly. So yeah, so that's that. Now onto the main frame, and some good news is that actually we came off very, very light. We're very, very lucky. You'll notice the ESC is not on there, and that's because I use it as an opportunity to give that to Uncle Bob, who's going to do some cable management on it for me. He's going to extend some cables for me, but and that was purely and simply because it was available, not because it was damaged. It's not damaged, so the ESC is fine. None of the frame is cracked. I've inspected that both sides. None of the frame is cracked. Everything is all good there. The main drive gear system that we can see here is all fine, and the main gear here and the holder inside has done what it's designed to do, which is to separate itself. But on this occasion, I don't think I can get it so that you can see it. No, I can't. But on this occasion, it's actually broken the main carrier. So the carrier and the main drive, or the main gear, sorry, is damaged, and you can see there where just after I put obviously throttle hold on, it was enough for the main drive to just strip that. The links are fine. I've taken the links off and checked those under a magnifying glass. There is no pressure cracks or anything else. There's no bend in the rods, which is testament to how strong these are, and they are strong, let me tell you. Up at the top here, I've check the spindle shaft or the feathering shaft, which is perfectly fine. There is a way to check that. The way to check that is you put your socket in the end of the spindle shaft, as I've done here, into the bolt, and you should be able to turn that and the other side be perfectly level. No wobbling, and there's no wobbling there. Now look, a lot of people wouldn't even bother. A lot of people would just say, right, just replace it, get rid of it, put some new thrust bearings in it, and then you know it's perfectly fine. And there's nothing wrong with that, but on this occasion there's absolutely no need. There's no requirement. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. Likewise with the main shaft. But I would say, you know, for the sake of a main shaft, you know, which is like 12 quid or whatever, just replace it, which is what we will be doing here. Outside of that, the main belt, the main gear, the main gear carrier, a ball link missing off of the end of the head, off of the end of the rotor arm blade, the rotor arm here, rotor arm assembly. You know, that's it. That's all the damage there is. No damage to the undercarriage, no damage to the skid pipes. Everything else is all fine. And at the back here, the main carrier for the boom is also not damaged. Now, unlike Kevin Talbot, oh, Tumble-Wumble, oh, Tumble-Wumble, oh, this is terrible, Tumble-Wumble, oh, it's Christmas every day. My instructor told me not to buy this real plane, but I'm going to anyway. But on a serious note, unlike Kevin Talbot, and I love him by the way, I think he's great, I'm not going to be quite so happy and upbeat about smashing my radio control helicopter in. No. I'm gutted. I'm annoyed with myself for all the reasons that I've already explained. But you know what? We live and learn. And it's not when you were born or even when you leave this mortal coil, it's what you do in between. And you should have a hobby. My hobby is radio control helicopters, and I love them. And that's my journey. And it doesn't always go to plan. Sometimes things go wrong. Till the next video, take care, and remember, it's all about the journey. Bye-bye.